What is up, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, everybody that's tuning in onto this video, guys? I thank you guys for all clicking on this video as we continue on breaking down the pithy sayings of Proverbs, and we get the wisdom, so we can get the knowledge, so we can apply it to our life, so we can become diligent, so we can become prudent, so we can serve God and serve all the people on this earth. And today, guys, we're on verse number 7 and chapter number 1. Let's get into it. So what is it telling us? It says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So let's take it back, right? So we know in order to have that sound wisdom, we must fear the Lord. Okay. And what is fearing the Lord? Right here, let's break it down. Right. The fear of God is an affectionate reverence for him and humble submission to his word. Fearing God is loving his commandments and hating evil. And that's in Proverbs chapter 8, verse 13. That tells us the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogance, and the evil ways, and the forward mouth do I hate. Let's also look at Proverbs 16:6 that says, by mercy and truth, iniquities is purged, and by the fear of the Lord, men depart from evil. So we know that fearing God is having a reverence. It's obeying his commandments, loving what he loves, hating what he hates. And not only is that going to be a blessing to us because that protects us, right? If I'm avoiding evil, if I'm avoiding arrogance, if I'm avoiding pride, that is going to help me. We know a lot of people in this lifetime got themselves hurt for being prideful, from hurt from being evil, from hurt from just doing all these crazy things. It either got them locked up, it might got them dead, they probably died spiritually, physically, all these different things. See, it helps us, and that is wisdom right there. If I am keeping myself protected, right? So let's say I'm not walking around arrogance and so prideful, and I'm walking around with an evil mindset, like, you know what, I'm really mad at these people, and you go on a killing rampage. It just preserve your life by fearing God, by keeping yourself away from that type of behavior. And we know that fools, they despise knowledge, they despise wisdom, because first, why is it like that? Well, starters, they don't want to admit that they're wrong. It takes a lot. You have to eat that humble pie to really admit that, like, something that you have learned for so long, that you were wrong. And fools, they don't want to admit that things. You're like, you know what? I hear what you're saying. You don't want me to go out partying, right? You want me to do all these different things. And that's how fools start to talk, right? Because they don't want to admit that they're wrong. You're like, no, I think it's cool. Why? A fool might tell you, like, hey, I don't want to get married. I don't want to be with one person. I think sleeping around is a cool thing. It's fun and stuff like that. And then might get a disease, and we understand that God's commandments, they're not restriction in our life. They're here to protect us. They are here to keep us away from danger and unnecessary stress, and like, or even early death in our life. Let's really look at our own life in this world. Let's pretend that there was no laws or none of this stuff. And somebody like, you know what, at this red light, I don't feel like stopping today. And they just blow right through that red light. The world will be chaotic. The same way how we have rules and laws, and we will obey these, but we don't want to obey God's commandment. We like, you know what? I want to sleep around. I don't want to wait until I'm married. But look what it does. There's a lot of people that have separated families. There's a lot of kids born out of wedlock. There's a lot of kids in foster home because of these different things. They were just sleeping around with a person. A lot of unnecessary abortions because people chose to break God's rules and his laws. Let's go ahead and look at other different things. When it says about lust, let's really look into that one deeply. A lot of people, they're lusting after these things. And what that does for a lot of people, it makes them covetousness, right? They're coveting people's stuff. They want other people's things. And that can lead to, right, a lot of envy, a lot of pride. Some people got killed for that. We see it all the time. I'm gonna use this for example. You see them videos, right? Anybody that knows, like, anything that has to do with a Dodge SRT, the Hellcats, the Trackhawks and stuff like that. So many people are envious of people having them things. They covet that, and they go out and kill these people. They steal people's possessions. If we have a simple respect and a reverence of God's rules and his commandments, we wouldn't do that. Be like, you know what? I can't do that because that's another soul. I can't go out and kill somebody. And that stops right there. That can prevent a lot of different things. If I look at something like, you know what? That's a nice vehicle. I like that car, but I don't want to have a prideful attitude, and fools in themselves. They're like, you know what? I like that. I'm going to go out there and do the same thing. They're going to start mimicking people. They're going to try to take the people's stuff, all these different things. And that's what fools love to do. And a lot of times fools, they don't want to admit that they were wrong all their life. You will get a fool that tell you, like, you know what, science, this, and a lot of fool has so much faith. They have faith too. I know that's hard to believe, but to believe that, let's look at evolution as an example, right? A fool will believe that all of this stuff in this world, all of this stuff in this universe, the cosmos and everything else, that all this stuff came from nothing. That takes a lot of faith. While we are believing in a creator, we know like, okay, God, ultimately, I don't know everything, but I know that you created the heavens and the earth. You created us. You gave us living breath. God, I know that there's a creator, because every time I look at something that was made, I know that there was a creator behind it. My phone, for example, I'm looking at this. This tells me by default that somebody made this phone. This phone did not beam itself into existence, but a fool believes these type of things. You know, they don't want to admit that, like, you know what? This came from something. And it's so funny because they're like, you know what? There is no, that's how good fools are. They're like, you know what? There is no God. But yet they will hold a remote and be like, you know, yeah, this remote was made by, you know, whatever brand, Sony, stuff like that. And you'll believe that something that's physically here, because they will tell you, once again, fools, they'll be like, you know what? I got to see some proof. Okay, let's look at everyday life. Let's look at the trees. The fact that you're on this earth and it's rotating perfectly fine, that I'm not tipping over, I'm not falling off. You know, the same way how the sun is perfectly set, that it's not too cold and not too hot. It's not burning us, and it's not too far away that we're freezing. And you can't believe that. You physically see this with your eyes. You'll be like, no, that's not good enough. A lot of time fools just be like, I want to see, boom, God right here. The same thing for the Bible. A fool will tell you so quick, you know, that book, it was made by man. Well, who else is supposed to write it? Well, God had angels and stuff like that. Well, how come the angels didn't write it? You know, they start to reason just like that. And you're like, well, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question for you. But to believe that this book, okay, it was written by man, but who wrote your book that you're reading right now? What, it was made by man. Okay, so where are we going with this? And that's just how I'm trying to leave that example. A fool will hit you up with so many different excuses for a lot of different things. They're like, you know what? I can't trust the Bible because all this stuff that's in here and everything else. Okay, and you know, man wrote it, so I can't trust that. Okay, but you got into this car that man made, that who knows, it could just destroy. The car can just literally just blow up, but you trust that car every single day. See, this is the things how fools they look at it. And once you start to reason with them, they'll just be like, yeah, whatever. They don't want to listen to you anymore. And guys, I don't want to keep on going on for too long, but this is pretty much the end of the video, guys. I thank you for staying on, for staying with me, and let's continue on breaking down the pithy sayings so we get the wisdom and the knowledge and apply yourself, guys. I'll see you guys next time. You all stay blessed.